Good evening. Um, the word for today, boys and girls, is rain, and lots of it. Um, from just about the moment took my first step on the trail this morning, sometime after 8 o'clock, until quite literally the moment I rolled into camp, um, all it did was rain. And it was a long day. Um, I knew today was going to probably have some challenges. It was the longest day of the four, mileage wise. I did about 17, just over 17 today. Um, and then when I left on Sunday to come here, the forecast indicated that if we were going to get rain, it was probably going to be Tuesday. And sure enough, it filled and lived up to its promise and just rained nonstop. Um, it wasn't so bad in the morning. It was more of like a slow drizzle or a mist most of the morning. It wasn't until I got to about just before the halfway point where I had planned that I was going to stop there, filter some water, and then eat some grub and just take a break. And just as I was pulling into that area, it's Cargo campgrounds, it just started downpouring. And luckily, they have a bunch of shelters there that I was able to post up in and kind of ride out the storm, get some food, put on some dry clothes for a little bit, and just kind of ride out the rain. And it was really cool that while I was there, this couple came up. I guess they were recently retired, and they needed a place to get out of the rain and shelter. And they were actually camping there. And I told them, hey, I'm just passing through. Come on in. You're more than welcome to take this shelter. I just want to ride out the rain a little bit here. And so they came in and we just got to chatting, and they were really nice folks from Ann Arbor, Michigan. And oddly enough, he was a professor at Michigan State. I was like, oh, you lived in Ann Arbor, but you taught at Michigan State. And he was very, I guess for years, decades, and I asked him how long of a commute that was, and he's like 59 minutes. So he knew it really well. Yeah, his name was also Ken, and his wife's name is Suzanne. They were really great. And it turned out that we were just chatting, and I told them I'm from Philadelphia. And they said, oh, we're very familiar with Philadelphia. Our daughter went to Haverford. I was like, you're kidding. Class of 91. And I won't say what class she was, but, I'll just say that it was a couple of years after me. But it was really cool, and they were really nice folks, and it was just such a it's one of those random kind of things, those random little things that happens, just, unplanned, completely spontaneous, by chance that you run into somebody. It just kind of shows you, the whole, it's a small world after all kind of thing. So after hanging out, eating lunch with them, and chatting some more, it started to slow down a little bit, the rain, so I took advantage of it and put back on my wet clothes and my rain gear and ventured out, filtered some water down by the cove, and then made my way for the second half of the leg of the hike today. And that's when it kind of slowed down for the first hour or so, but then it just started raining again, really hard. And at that point, I was just like, fuck it. I just hauled ass, just hiked, put my head down, and powered through it to try to get to where I am now, the Daisy Farm campgrounds that I plan to camp at. And The good news, well, at least I thought the good news was, in speaking with Ken and Suzanne, they're very familiar with this park and been here multiple times. In fact, they were here for their honeymoon 38 years ago. They said there's 13 shelters down here. I was like, oh, fantastic! It's, with that many shelters, I'm bound to get one. This is the least visited national park in the lower 48. And I get down, finally, just after hauling ass and just going as fast as I could, I get down here and it's packed. I don't know where the hell all these people came from. It's Tuesday. I figured everybody would be gone by now after the weekend, but 13 shelters, not one of them vacant. There was a bunch of backpackers over by a pavilion just kind of underneath it taking shelter from the rain, which actually stopped pretty much as soon as I got here. But luckily, in addition to the shelters, there are some campsites, tent sites, and one of those is open. So I quickly grabbed it and set up my tent, and then went down and got some water. And that's where I am currently. Just happy and grateful to be have on some dry, warm socks and a dry shirt. But my rain gear did hold up really, really nice. Most of my underclothing didn't get wet at all. It was just a little moist from perspiration more than anything. And so I went down, took my pot down to the little bay or harbor. I'm not even quite sure what it is, but filled it up. So got that over there. There's my damn trail shoes. Hung up my socks and my gaiters on my trekking poles to hopefully dry them out. This tent's probably going to smell like feet for the rest of the night, if not for eternity. There's my pack over there. Kind of muddy because I busted ass on the way in here. Oh, can't forget there's the mug of Makers that I poured myself. Might as well have a sip. Oh, I was waiting for that. Pretty much this whole hike. Yeah, I'm gonna cook some food, stay dry. Oh yeah, busted ass on the way in here. It was pretty much mostly downhill, and as you got down here, it was just swampy, muddy, sloppy, slippery. Wet rocks, muddy turf. I mean, it was just brutal. Puddles of mud. And so, yeah, I fell on my ass at least twice. Unfortunately, it didn't hurt anything or break anything. It just got a little muddy. Yeah, it was definitely one of those days where, it makes you appreciate the good days. And it's just one of those things where if you're out here doing this often enough, you're definitely going to get rained on from time to time, and just got to kind of power through it and get to your destination and get dry, which is kind of what I'm doing now. And hopefully it'll clear up and can wander around. It's a really big campground area, and there's some cool coastline here by this bay. So if it clears up and keeps not raining like it currently is, hopefully I can wander around a bit after eating before it gets dark. And yeah, so this is my tomorrow will be my last day of hiking. Maybe this might be my last day of camping, because if tomorrow clears up and it's nice, then cool. I'm gonna hike back up the ridge. There's two quote unquote mountains for this island, peaks, Mount Ojibwe and Mount Franklin, that apparently have some really amazing views. So if it's nice and clear, I'm gonna do that. But if it's like this, raining or overcast, foggy, I am just gonna take the most direct route to Rock Harbor, which is my last stop before I get picked up on Thursday. And it's probably the most developed, it is the most developed area on the island. There's a lodge and cabins and a restaurant, and so I'm really looking forward to that. God, yeah, a cheeseburger and beer sound fantastic right about now. So, and I may, depending if the weather's crappy, I'm gonna see if there's a vacancy in the lodge. I'm gonna get myself a room there and treat yourself a little bit. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. But tomorrow is going to be a much shorter day, even when if I take the longer route to go up to those peaks. Kind of planned it that way. I wanted it to be last day to be kind of an easier, take your time kind of day, and get in to Rock Harbor and be able to chill out at the restaurants and the lounge and have some beers and eat a good meal and just kind of wander around the Rock Harbor area and see what's going on. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm gonna continue laying down here. If it clears up, maybe I'll go out to the picnic table there a little bit. Put on some music on my portable speaker, and yeah, that's it. And I'm 17-mile day. I'm kind of wiped and looking forward to eating and drinking some more makers. So that's about it. Happy trails.